Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing today? I am your Planetary Defense Commander, Star-Lord New Thor 7, and I want to warn you ahead of time, I'm in a very weird mood, because, heck, hurricane season could start in 2 weeks, and we haven't really done anything to prepare for it. So, let's get to the news. It's pretty stormy. Definitely doomy. Well, I'm sorry, definitely gloomy. And with some doom. Okay, Texas, you're on high alert for the next 2 weeks. We got a lot of flooding coming in, heavy rain, plus possibly some wind events. This is today and over the next 7 days. More and more states are talking about the river level flooding. It's a big, big deal. And you can tell it's a big deal because both political parties never, ever, ever, ever mention it. But we got a lot of rain projected over the next 7 days for Texas. And even worse, we have even more rain projected over the next 16 days. That would be a giant swath of over 16 inches for about 40% of Texas. Can you see that? So that would do major damage to the already flooding situation we got going on, not only in Texas, but Louisiana, and pretty much all the way up into the Dakotas. This is a clear and this is 235 rivers flooding. This is a clear and present danger. It has been for over a month. And so, I don't know, I guess we can pray for a miracle. I don't know, if you've been following me for a while, I've pretty much proven this without a doubt, that the United States of America gets major flooding, major earthquakes, and major volcanoes anytime that all the gas giants are on the same side of the sun. And so that's where pretty much the majority of all the planets are in our solar system as it spins around. The biggest two planets we have in the solar system are Jupiter and Saturn, bar none. You can fit like 20 Neptunes and Uranuses in here. You could fit like, 100 or 1,000 Earths in Jupiter. So, pretty much through my research, the majority of the big earthquakes and volcanoes have come when Jupiter and Saturn are so closely aligned. And they will continue to do so. So the next 6 years are definitely going to be dicey. Science has focused all of its eggs in its basket on carbon and only carbon, which is why they aren't picking up much of the stuff that's going on. And modern science definitely does not like to talk about volcanoes or earthquakes. So this is the situation we got going on now. This pocket is blowing up pretty big over Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas, and it's going to be pouring more rain into the areas that are already super flooded. Now, this is a look at the next 48 hours. As you can see, we're going to get some pretty deadly and damaging wind events across the Midwest, parts of Texas, and was that Indiana? Crap. Sorry. So yeah, we're still getting snow. Looks like we're getting snow into May. It's going to be May, but it is kind of a volcano summer winter. I just want to point out again, so Earth is here and all the other planets are over there. There's no balance in our civilization. There's no balance in our solar system. There's no balance anywhere. Yay. All right, so it looks like our major moisture zone by New Zealand is definitely picking up moisture that is going to be feeding into that atmospheric river stream that will cross Mexico, Texas, and then all the way across the Gulf, across the East Coast. Right now, we got a pretty decent lightning storm going on as that one storm is blowing up. That's 29,000 lightning strikes in the last 48 hours. That's a pretty heavy clip of lightning, no matter how you want to slice it. This is the next 7-day projection. This has the heavier spots through Why does it? Why? Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, Nebraska. If I get one state wrong, I'm sorry. I just woke up a little while ago. Now we're looking at our big storm blow up and pulse up over the middle of the USA. And so this is some pretty heavy rain totals. Yay, it's got the names in it. Missouri. How did I forget Missouri? I had one of my best summers there when I was a young kid. They have some nice lakes in Missouri. Okay, so like these areas, you know, the upper atmosphere has been pretty unstable lately. So I would definitely keep your eye out if you hear any type of warnings or watches. And then here these are flood warnings and watches. You can see that a lot of the rivers are definitely in flood warning and watches. You got some blizzard. Is it blizzardy? Who knows? Conditions. So it's good for everybody to pay attention to all this stuff. This is definitely a clear and present danger. All right, let me run down some of the stories that we got going on this morning. And I'm feeling a little cynical today. I'm having to readjust to totally giving up on romantic love in the modern age, because smartphones seem to have ruined romance just completely. Okay, it just takes me a while to recalibrate. Jeff Jameson, FWD extends time of flood warning for Trinity River at Trinidad, Texas, till May 4th. So they pretty much extended a flood warning for the river for the next 5 days. And then if we look back on the projected 16-day rainfall totals, those flood warnings watches aren't going down. We have from Zachary's Weather, brought to us by the Weather Channel. From Texas up to Illinois today poses a major threat for severe storms all across the central U.S. And it's like I've said before, it's like the majority of all the media is controlled by kind of the New York area. The majority of politics is Washington. Majority of social networking is controlled by Northern California and Seattle. And so the middle of the United States doesn't really get much attention at all from the media. And it's almost like it could fall into the ocean. I'm sure they'd notice. The majority of the time when they do pay attention, they figure out how to invest in corn futures and grain futures so they can make as much money off tragedy as possible. I mean, it's Wall Street, people. Come on. Profit over people. That's pretty much been their slogan forever. Water levels might be receding, but there's still no sign of when the Trans-Canada Highway will reopen between Oromatco and the River Glade. So yeah, you got major flooding happening in India, Spain, Africa, the United States, Canada, Brazil, you name it. It's just wet, soggy, and flooding all over. A persistent storm track will cause rounds of rain and severe thunderstorms with an elevated risk of flooding to extend from the southern plains to the Midwest this week. So it's going to be floody as our pattern is sort of stuck. Ugh. Potentially more of the same crappy pattern for the next couple weeks. At least commenting on the King of Weather Twitter, the wonderful Cranky Weather Guy, whose blog I always leave link for you in my information box. As he says, due to time constraints, I have to limit production of the BSR Bering Sea Rule pattern recognition tool to the 500 millibar layer. Which is okay, because the 500 millibar layer is Bernie Rayno's favorite layer, and Bernie Rayno is good. And discontinue the East Asia rule. Updated product webpage reverted to thumbnail viewing. I gotta figure out what the Bering Sea rule is one of these days. May 1 through the 20th, loop below. But, from whatever he's saying, it's pretty much going to be a repeating of the patterns as the lows will strafe across the Midwest and the South. With, of course, some lows going up top, going high as well. Whoa, what's going on here? Okay, so, tornado titans. It could be a busy day. It will be a busy day. We're looking at Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Norman, Fort Sill, Wichita Falls, being the nearest, the big bullseye. If you were in the level, by no means are you out of danger. Another thing, cut your meteorologist some slack if they get the forecast wrong, because they're caught in a catch-22. They can't tell you that the atmosphere is so unstable right now that it's hard to call, because that would freak people out. So, definitely things are so unstable these days that anybody who gets it correct, even mildly consistently, is doing a wonderful job. And I appreciate every single person on the weather aware team out there. And that includes you guys. You guys are super duper and fantastic. All right. What did I give him? Who did that? Mark Torello. E-weather. Euro high temps for Thursday. Insane gradient between DC and Boston. Going from 90 degrees to 40 degrees. This would be Thursday and Friday, I believe. Yeah, that's an insane nutty gradient, man. I just want to remind people that during this earthquake and volcano season, there are actually a bunch of seamounts over here, which are ocean volcanoes. So yeah, ocean volcanoes and earthquake are definitely on the table over the next 6 years. Russell Dangle, his name is fun to say. View of Tropical Cyclone 01B Fanny today. I used to like Fannies, but I gave that up. It's okay. You know, jaded, cynical focus is pretty laser beam. But yeah, that is a nasty. And I want to say again, look, Australia's been hit by 2 cyclones this year, and a cyclone is just a hurricane. Africa's been hit by 2 cyclones this year, and a cyclone is just a hurricane. And so now India's getting hit. So I'm pretty convinced the United States is going to get hit by a hurricane in the middle of September and the middle of October. And that's only the 2 months I've figured out. We have a tropical cyclone that has been sort of appearing in the models. 2 weeks from now in the Gulf, we will watch. Everyone's response now is to make fun of it, but we will keep tracking it either way, because I would guess hurricane season will probably start a month ahead of time. If it started 8 weeks ahead of time, that's a major bad sign. This by the wonderful Meredith Garofalo. I wonder if she's Janine Garofalo's sister. What a show. Whatever happened to Janine? What a show. Lightning races across the sky above Phoenix, Arizona on Monday. It's electrifying. That's true. Fort Worth police putting a smile on my face with it's humid outside. Really, really humid. Just pointing out to our governor, yeah, dude, that is a major problem. One thing is, I've been trying to get the world and America to unite. I realize, Texas is pretty much united. We take great pride in being Texans, and that we usually rally together when need be. And but at the end of the day, please don't get distracted by all the bullshit the East Coast and the West Coast are trying to sell you, because we have major problems. And in a worst case scenario, these rivers would continue to widen, and you could see earthquake activity that would cause major catastrophic damage from here to the Great Lakes. And worst case scenario, we could lose parts of East Texas. It's something I've been talking about for 5 years now. And just, this is an ass load of rain, people. Like, that is just, it's a buttload. Call it what you will. It's a major problem we should be adapting to, but, divide and conquer is king, so that is not going to fly today. I'm wishing good luck and inspiration lottery tickets for Cranky Weather Guy. Systems now span the entire nation. He may do a focused blog on it later if he can find some inspiration. And honestly, that's been my problem the last few weeks as well. After talking to people about this for 6 years and getting so many things right, it's what I need the most these days is inspiration. Although contributions, donations, letters to my mailbox, which is located in the link. Those are always super appreciated, but yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I'm never going to get any larger coverage from the media out of my planetary orbital angular momentum theory. Even my Eris alignments that have hit every single time. The media's going to go the way to deny it. I'm never going to get a date again. Fuck, I may never even have fun again. So yeah, guys like me and Cranky have done a just fantastic job over and over again selflessly. No rewards for good guys in this world. Death will be like a vacation. Yeah, so I'm just talking about, so we've seen a city in Africa lose 35,000 homes. And so I'm wondering what will be the place this hurricane season that just gets absolutely devastated by multiple hurricanes. My guess is Florida. If I had to pick, I'd say Miami. East Coast early season hybrid or late season nor'easter watch in mid-June. Later on, feel like West Caribbean to Gulf States primary summertime scenario as Atlantic ridge builds into eastern U.S. roasting up as the eastern seaboard redirects waves from far southwest. And I was just saying, this is kind of why there's a lot of reasons why I'm kind of jaded, kind of cynical, but there's another reason that I'm going to LeakCon in Denver in the middle of May. I may not be planetary defense commander for hurricane season because I don't want to be planetary defense commander if, like, we're losing thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people. I don't want to be. Last year and the year before that, every time a hurricane would hit, I would get emails like, you're failing, you're doing a horrible job, these people's deaths are on your head. And well, so I just, if we're not going to do anything to prepare for hurricane season and our attitudes aren't going to change as a nation, I think it may be time to hang up planetary defense commander and just be a protector of Texas. And that really wouldn't even be that hard because Texas is pretty self-sufficient, although we got big challenges coming our way. And I could sell Texans the planetary orbital angular momentum thing pretty easily because we're pretty decent at critical thinking. And with all the river flooding in our neighbors, having a lot of river flooding and the Washington politicians not giving a single shit, I think Texans are kind of aware. Anyway, but that's like 2.5 months from now. Miracles could happen, who knows? Yeah, this is just sad on every single level. And, but yes, which city will get sacrificed to the corporate-owned life assurance water gods in America this year? Because, as I mentioned before, corporations since 2014 have been taking out major insurance policies on employees. So if their $20,000 employee drowns or dies in a hurricane, they get $400,000 per person. This creates a major conflict of interest and could be a real reason the media is trying to distract you by screaming climate change with a bullhorn in your face every single time anything happens. Anything time people die, they say it's your fault. Climate change. If only you would unite and get a carbon tax, then it would be so much easier to change oil companies' practices, which is like the dumbest shit I ever heard. All right, let's watch some models, and I'll wrap this one up. And I'll try to get in a better mood, but, man, it's social Darwinism at its worst. That's what society's become, where it's profit rules everything. Profit, and the way to get the most profit is to divide and conquer. So the storms today, they're going to be pretty nasty and add on to all the nastiness. That is first on Wednesday. That's the heavy rains in the worst spots we could want right now. That's like a worst case scenario. You're talking snow up into the northeast parts of Canada. And then our pattern is going to loop, the wetness is going to loop around the high, bring heavy rain to a lot of portions of the United States. Look at this. And then watch this system that rolls across the Gulf. That looks pretty nasty. And then, as I mentioned, Look at that. That is the 10th. And then some of the models have been showing a tropical storm / hurricane that arises from the Gulf. But that is like 16 days out. So, you know me. I'll watch it for you. And I will give you my honest opinion. But we definitely, I started hurricane season like 2 months ago. And it was like everybody, in my opinion, we're in it. So we need to just stay aware. And so, I don't know, man. Crazy days indeed. Yeah. Crazy days indeed. All right, I'm going to do one for Europe. And I'm going to get out of here. I want to work on that. I want to do an edited. They're talking about NASA talking about planetary defense and asteroids. So I want to make a funny edited video on that. And then all the same weather patterns are showing up on Saturn's moon Titan. So I want to do an edited video on that. And then I'll probably be doing a lot of weather updates for the next few days. It is the part of the month over the next 3 or 4 days where I do a fundraiser for just bills and stuff and going to LeakCon and back up. And so I have no major worries at the moment, but if you want to help in any way, shape, or form, you can. The safest way is absolutely sending me a letter to 5430 Birdwood Road, apartment 416, Houston, Texas 77096. If you just want to say thanks, write it on a napkin. Anything helps, and anytime I go to my mailbox and see anything in there, it puts a huge smile on my face. Sometimes people have sent me awesome comic books. I got a Bible and a graphic novel. Dream Catchers, Pink Salt. What else? One time, somebody sent me like an Amazon box filled with food. It had the fruit cups in there, were amazing. So I was eating fruit every day. That was nuts. And they had these little, was it tuna salad cans that were freaking delicious. I don't know. That's anytime you guys send me love, anytime, I appreciate it. It feels good to be appreciated, and that's why I'm still doing it. And against all odds. Yeah, Europe's been getting semi-saved by a high-pressure zone that's been knocking all the crazy... Look at those, man. Look at those. Those giant, massive storms. So the high pressure's been carrying it north, but areas like France and Spain and at times Europe has been under the gun too. But if that high-pressure zone ever moves, they'd be in deep shit. All right. I really talked for 20 minutes? Well, I guess there's a lot going on, True story. And so I want everybody to stay cool, be cool, and try and think of new ideas, new ways you can help. But I highly recommend, dude, the next election isn't for like 480 days away. I would take like the next 100 days off worrying about politics and worry about the state of our nation as far as what we can do to better adapt to this situation, because we're only in the beginning of flood season, and then when flood season ends, it's hurricane season. And so, like, let's say if you had a hurricane come in here, hit here, and then curve out, the damage would be catastrophic. And we got hit by 3 hurricanes in 2017. We got hit by 3 hurricanes in 2018. And, people are still more worried about terrorism in the United States than they are hurricanes. And that's ridiculous, in my opinion. Okay. God bless everyone. Stay cool. I'll try and cheer up. I like me better with a sense of humor and a dash of hope. You know what I'm saying? I like to inspire you guys and let you guys know that optimism is alive, but yeah, I don't know, man. Like, seems like romance is dead. Maybe not for you guys, but it is for me. Okay. God bless everyone. Peace out.